can't see why none of them would be interested in something like this, because it benefits them all, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
And that's it. So that's it.
so I can't post this conversation then at the moment.
No, you'll have to start again, Con.
Fucking bullshit. Okay, all right. Then we go on to yeah. Hi boys, how's it going? How's it?
All right, Con.
How's it going, Dave?
How's it going?
All right.
How's it? You
You're in purple, Con.
Yeah, my God, you're in purple. Didn't you know it? You knew it was purple. People didn't know that. And your books are still upside down, by the way. Oh, God. All those people admit that this is a re-recording of a re-recording.
Well, I haven't heard from Gary lately. Have you heard from Gary?
Oh, he's been very quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of posts that he's, put on.
No,
Commented.
you haven't upset him then. You haven't sort of withheld his
Oh,
supply.
I don't think anybody could upset Gary.
Barry Cartwright's got a new record, hasn't he? He's had COVID, 2 jabs, and COVID.
Oh, good one. Oh yeah, I've become eligible for a jab now.
Oh, bloody hell.
But not the further Ventura one, whatever it's called.
Well, you were on the news here from not you personally, Con, but France was on the news here saying about how the people are sort of suddenly coming round now to wanting to have the jab. Not that they had any before in stock there, so they couldn't have had it anyway. But now they're saying that they want to have it, but they still this thing about the dangers of it affecting young people seemed to me just a load of nonsense.
Yeah, but I was talking to my ex-wife last night. She's a doctor, I asked her, exactly what was going on, and she said, okay, well, if you have a problem, if you have problems with it, and you're thinking about it might have side effects, don't have the AstraZeneca, the Pfizer or the Moderna.
But if I'm right in what I say, there's been 6 people that have had some sort of side effect from it. Out of something like 2.5 million.
Oh.
Yeah, 6 dead, I think it is.
Yeah.
6 people have died, yeah.
And they could have died anyway, to be honest.
That's right. That's what they're saying, that if they had any other treatment for anything, they could have done the same,
There was one when a woman said that one of them was her brother, and I think he was under 40, and presumably, pretty fit up until he had the vaccine, and obviously it had some kind of reaction to him.
Yeah.
And so they know 100% that it was the vaccine. But the worrying thing is that the one that we've had is the one that's causing the problems.
Which one's
that? Yeah, it could be something like eating a Snickers could do it.
I've had the Pfizer. So.
Could be anything at all. That gives you that you're allergic. You could be just allergic to it. But it seems strange to me that there's something like, what is it, 10% of people dying from cancer every year, and another 20% dying from pneumonia, and they're not bothered with that. But 0.1%, I think it is, of people are getting affected with this, and there's a huge fuss about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same.
There's more people killed by sharks in this country, I think. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just think I don't know what's going on with
tax lately, isn't I?
Well, I don't know. Everybody's ultra sensitive to everything at the moment. Whatever you like.
I think there's a lot of missed news goes out, isn't there? And then
fake news.
Just to panic a few people.
Yeah, well, called Facebook doctors and YouTube doctors. They know everything. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you what Dunning-Kruger is. Okay, Dunning-Kruger is when you know absolutely shit all, but you actually think that you know more than the person who's a perfect example of knowing everything, you know? Like an astrophysicist, you're having a conversation with an astrophysicist, and you're telling him he's wrong, but you can't tell him why he's wrong, but you know he's wrong because you think he's wrong. You see, so you know more than the astrophysicist who's qualified.
You're talking about me now, Con.
I am, aren't I? You're a prime example of Dunning-Kruger. No, but you accept that there is two sides of the argument.
Well, I don't accept experts, that's why.
Right.
I don't think such a thing as an expert, because we can go back to the weathermen if you want, but I'm sure there's other examples. But
yeah, no, but
Mr. Fish was the classic case, wasn't he?
Wasn't he just? 3-3, bam! I take that. No problem tonight. Maybe a bit windy now and again.
Yeah, that's more or less it. But I think experts these days, they're just paid to say whatever whoever pays them says. To be honest, I mean, you can't. Like going back to what
I talked to my ex-wife last night. She's a doctor. Okay, so she admits they don't know fuck all what's happening, you know. But she's had COVID and she's had the jabs. And she said to me, if I was you, I would have the jabs.
Yeah.
Because there is a risk, but don't have the AstraZeneca. That's 2 people that told me that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see my doctor and I'm going to get the other one.
I think the risk, Con, is under 17-year-olds sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what she said last night. So the 20-year-olds, the teenagers, and 25-year-olds are at more risk from it, a problem with it, than anybody else. So I was in 2 minds actually. I didn't know what to do, but I made up my mind now. I'm gonna do it.
I think we've said this before. They don't even know how long the jab lasts. We don't know if we're going to get in 6 months.
With all the things that your governments are saying, they don't know fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, if Barry Cartwright's anything to go by, it's about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, at least he knows what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, like Marion now this week, the system that the government has set up is all okay. There's lots of criticism, but if everybody did what they were supposed to do, I think the system would work. But the problem is, it's like Marion now, her phone went off Wednesday midday, telling her that she had to isolate for 5 days because she's come into contact with somebody, right? Now, Marion, she hadn't been genuinely, apart from walking through Singleton Park, she won't go on the promenade because it's too busy. We go onto the beach. We wouldn't even go down to the beach. She wouldn't go in the car when we weren't allowed to go in the car. We'd walk around Cockett and Forest Park. And so if anybody's a good example of sticking to the rules, she is. She gives me a telling off when we're walking through the park, because I don't know if it's a bloke thing, but if I see somebody walking towards me, I'm like, will you get out of the bloody way? Because some people, they'll walk like 3 or 4 abreast and it's sod everybody else. They just walk in a straight line. And I'm, I suppose, a bit long in the tooth. And I just think, well, I'm going to stick to my line.
You're an alpha male.
Pardon?
You're an alpha male. Get out of
well, yeah, way. Yeah. Trying to be.
No, he's just a troublemaker. Right?
Yeah, but I'll turn around to find out where she is, and she's gone the other side of a tree to avoid somebody, like, you know. So she literally keeps her distance from everybody. So
she's hiding the biscuit.
Pardon?
He's hiding from you.
Yeah.
He's trying to get
So
away.
when her phone went off, it was a bit of a surprise, but we couldn't work out why it was 5 days. Because it was 14, then it was 10,
10.
and now all of a sudden it's 5 days.
Well,
And then we find out the reason why she had to isolate for 5 days, because has anybody had a positive test?
No.
No.
If you have a positive test, apparently they give you a code to put into the app on your phone. Obviously, not everybody's got the app on their phone, but they give you a code to put in, right? Well, it turns out that this guy or girl got the positive result, got the code, but didn't put it in for 5 days. So when they did put it in, right, Marion has been, going wherever she wants to go for the first 5 days that she should have been in isolation, because she didn't know that she should have been in isolation. So now, like 11:59 tonight, she's allowed to go out. Right? I don't know where she's going to go, but that is down to the person who's had the test result sitting on it for 5 days before putting it into the system. So it's
Crazy, isn't it?
it is
Just
crazy.
Biscuit, just delete the app.
yeah.
Well, she is, funnily enough, she has said that she's going to keep it on, because every day it counts down. It says you got 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. Today, now you've got 1 day left. And she said, I'm not going to get rid of it now, but tomorrow morning, she said, you can take it off my phone for me, and you can take it off yours. And I said, no, I'm not taking mine off. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You don't bloody do what you're supposed to do. So there's a little bit of friction.
Does she know who she was in contact with?
Well, no, she doesn't know. She got no idea who it could have been. But we worked it out that it would have been on Good Friday.
Oh, right.
And the only thing we can think of, funnily enough, we'd gone down and parked in Plunch Lane, walked up Mumble's Head and had a walk around the top of there. Hardly a soul about. Came down and we were in the queue in Forts to get a coffee and something. And I was like keeping my 2 meters away from the people in front of me. And then when it was our turn next to be served, Marian's nudging me like this. And I said, what's the matter? And she said, and she's like this, look behind you. And when I look now, this bloke who was waiting behind me was right on my shoulder. So I thought, you bloody idiot. Like, I didn't know how long he'd been there for. And it seems that the fashion today, like we always used to wear surfy beads when we were kids. We'd have around our neck and bracelets and all that stuff. Well, this boy now had his mother's pearls round his neck, right?
Right.
But it seems that that's the fashion now, because I've seen other kids with a string of pearls around their neck, and I just said, oh, it's okay. I said, he's all right. He's got his mother's pearls to keep him safe. And so he's the only person we can think that we were in close contact to on Good Friday.
Contaminated by a pearly queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm on the lookout for a boy about 18-year-old with his mother's pearls on.
I think go and look.
Is it a gay thing, or is it a?
I'm glad you said 18, Biscuit.
Yeah. I still think you better go and look at why people wear pearls, Biscuit.
Yeah. There must be a reason, mustn't there?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
I just put a kettle
Was
on.
it? Was he very close behind you?
Yeah. Could you feel his presence? Yeah.
No, I don't think it is a gay thing, as much as you would think it is, because there was a photograph floating around. I know this Harry Styles. He was in one of the kids' pop groups, and there was a photograph of him, funnily enough, with his mother's pearls round his neck, and perhaps with him they weren't his mother's, but. Marion said, well, I know bugger all about Harry Styles, but Marion said, well, he isn't gay, because I've seen some of the women that he knocks about with, so you're quite at liberty to wear your pearls, Mike. We won't make fun of you.
I think it may have slightly different connotations to what you're thinking, but never mind. I won't say anything now. You don't look.
No,
you don't want to be controversial, is it?
Yeah.
I'm dying to hear this.
But, anyway, you've been contaminated as well with the sound of this kid.
No, I'm gonna clear health bill. What if they got the pearl earrings in as well, Mike? Is that a dead giveaway?
Oh, that's even worse. Can I ask you something? If you were there and Marion was there, how come she's the only one that got notification?
Well, this is it. I don't know. This is another mystery. And the other thing, which is even more strange, right, was Marion doesn't take her phone up with her. Right? So she didn't even have her phone with her when we were there. So it's even more of a mystery.
Well, can we assume then that wasn't the time then? When you were infiltrated?
Yeah, but it had to work out that if she should have been notified on the day that she came into contact with this person, which would have been I'm trying to work it out. 10 days.
Can I interrupt you? Haven't you got to be there for a certain time, like 10 minutes or something?
I haven't got a clue. I don't know anything about it. I didn't know whether.
What I remember when they first started, you have to be in the same vicinity for a certain amount of time. I thought it was something like 10 minutes. But,
well, I did ask her if she was nipping out when I was fast asleep during the night.
Or if someone was nipping in.
Yeah.
Well, if he is, he obviously tidies up after him, so I wouldn't know.
Get him to bring you a cup of tea. He's finished. You may as well make advantage of it, Biscuit.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. So anyway, she sounds like she's all clear anyway. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she had no symptoms whatsoever, but it's just as I say, it's just damned annoying. The system is there if everybody.